Hey everybody, this is Anadad71, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm going to make a quick video on making a lineup for this Thanksgiving Day tomorrow, the 3-game slate on Draftkings. I'm going to do it using my illustrious spreadsheet that I learned how to make following along on others here on YouTube. I got to say this about this spreadsheet. I've been using it all season, and it's very intuitive. And I've done very well. I'm one of the fortunate folks in a way, because I was looking at DraftKings and even spoke to somebody on their customer service a while back, and what they're saying is roughly only about 18-19% of the people who play DraftKings worldwide are profitable, and I'm actually one of them. I know everybody probably says they are, but I actually can prove it. A lot of people lie in this business, as we know. Virtually almost 97% of the people who run their mouths in this are liars. But sorry, but it's just a fact, because they're trying to hustle something usually. That's what they want to do. Buy my spreadsheet, buy my magic carpet and 8-ball, and we all know everybody's been sucked in at one point. And I just reached a point myself where, you guys know, over the past 18 months or so, I just started making my own stuff. And I know for a fact that if you want to go out and spend, anywhere between $30 and $60 a month on their products, be my guest. But I can tell you myself that I can make something for free. Everything you're going to see today on this spreadsheet is free. I didn't pay a nickel for anything. It's all freely obtainable information that I just did an import on and set up my spreadsheet. And I can tell you right now that I've played against many of the higher end, I guess if they want to call themselves that anyway. Because they all have their little monikers on DraftKings, etc. And I beat them. I mean, it's so what? And the sad part is they paid to get the information, then they paid to play the game, and then they lost. And it's like, so you lost twice. I'm not saying like everybody who sells stuff doesn't work. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there's the sports I'm interested in, which are NFL more than anything else. I do very well in it. I have a winning record, and I don't prescribe to any $30 to $60 a month type of circumstance. I just don't. Now, to each their own. I do what you want. To that end, I'm going to get started on this sheet. I'll give you a quick explanation of what we got here. We got the flex sheet, which is all our eligible flex players. I have a quarterback sheet, which is all our eligible quarterbacks. We're going to have to make an adjustment here because the news that I got today, it looks like Mitchell Trubisky might be out, right? And if that's the case, we're going to put in his counterpart. I forget the kid's name, but when we look at it, we'll get him. And we'll see if we want to use him or not. And I'll go into why we may want to. But really, I don't think you need to be much of a rocket scientist to see that, greens across the board for Drew Brees might prove interesting, especially when he was at home and he's in the Coors Field, as it's been referred to this year. And I agree with that. It is. He does play in the Coors Field of football. It's just a high-scoring game, high-scoring atmosphere. And then you throw in Atlanta with Julio Jones. And, we got an interesting game on our hands that day. I mean, everybody's saying Atlanta probably will get blown out. They probably might not win, but they got very talented players. And, I mean, if it ain't like they're going to go in there and get completely shellacked, I don't think. I expect them to play from behind with a lot of throws and an exciting game. I mean, we all saw 105 over-under the other night on the Chiefs and Rams game. A lot of that's due to the rule changes, as you know. It's not that quarterbacks have gotten better or receivers. It's just that now it's set up so it's one step away from flag football, and that's why the over-unders are as high as they are. And that's an absolute fact. Sorry anybody don't like that, but that's reality. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look over here. Let me see. Let's pull up our Chicago. Clear this. Chicago. Okay. Chase Daniel, I believe, is the young kid's name we're looking for. I'm going to copy him. Let's copy him over to the quarterback sheet. And what we'll do is we'll take Mitch Trubisky right out of there because he's not. I'm 99% sure he's not playing. We'll go back to that sheet. And let's see what we got here. Where's his price? Chase Daniel. Chicago. Where's the price tag? 4,400. All right, let's copy that. Now you might say, how come I'm not changing any of this? This isn't going to change because this is all imported information. And it's based off the teams that are playing, not so much off Chase Daniel. I'm going to get in there eventually and maybe put in yards and different things like that. But for right now, I've done very well with it, and I haven't had to. It's more based upon, the offensive line versus the defensive line's pass attack, the offensive line adjusted sack rate versus the defensive line adjusted sack rate, the expected team points, the defensive passing rank, and the points they give up to the quarterback. And I also bring in line movement. Some people like that, and I definitely do. I believe line movement is indicative of a lot, to be honest with you. But we'll go into line movement another day, or you can just, Google it and read what you like on it. There's a lot to it. Okay, with that being said, let me show you how I operate this. I do let's go into wide receivers. I usually start there. Let's close this here for a second. Cancel that. I'm going to go into wide receivers. Clear this. Wide receiver 1, 2, and 3. There we are. Let's take a look at what we got. All right, so here's our set of wide receivers. Now, you notice there's a small amount of players, but keep in mind that it's only a 3-slate game. If we were playing the full 16 games, there'd be multiple players. What we do here, let me explain. I got the salary, the home and away, the team, the opposition, the over-under, the team points expected, line movement again, DVOA, DVO rank, the wide receiver matchup. I brought that in from, this is brought in from Football Outsiders, and this one's brought in from from Football Rankings, team rankings or something like that. The tight end matchup doesn't apply here, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to hide that column. Now you see here I got, I have outside line run block and yards allowed, etc. Those are obviously for running backs, right? So we're not going to be using the running backs at the moment. So we're going to close that. We'll hide that column. The outside line pass blocking, team wide receiver targets, team tight end targets. What that is essentially says is how many times the history or the currency, so to speak, of the team, how much they utilize those players. We're going to hide that column. Touches, we're also going to hide. I don't care too much about touches when it comes to wide receivers. So let's see what we got here. Now what I do is my first step, I usually take the DVOA and invert it to find who's got the easiest matchups. And you see here we got, we have Julio Jones has a very nice matchup. Calvin Ridley has a magnificent matchup. He's probably going against that P.J. Williams or whatever the kid is, P.J. something. And I guess he's leaves a lot to be desired. So watch out for Calvin Ridley tomorrow. He may actually be a good play. He's showing up here. So let's go ahead. Let's, you know what? Let me open up another tab here if I can. I'm going to open up a Draftkings tab. All right. Moves at the speed of light, don't it? Sorry for that. My internet connection really isn't even all that bad. I think I just have so much on this laptop from working on things over the time that essentially it's slow a little bit, but whatever, we'll be all right. All right, so let me go over to contests. No, let's not go to contests. Let's go over to NFL. Let's go down to, let's look at a free contest just to get started, if they have one. Come on. See what I mean about being slow? It's aggravating to me. Entry fee, 3 games, 3C collect. All right, fine, whatever. Let's put ourselves into that. Probably should have done that one, 195 or 200, but whatever. Does anybody know who 3C Collectibles is? I never heard of them. Thanks for the game, kid. So let's see what we got here. Let's go to wide receivers. All right. Go to Draft Lab. We like Calvin Ridley. We've established that. So let's go ahead. Let's find our man Calvin here. Where is he? Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley. Oh, let's see what's saying about him. He might be questionable. Hopefully he's making it. Ridley thigh practiced fully on Wednesday and doesn't carry an injury designation into Thursday's game. So he's going to play. All right. Never thought to be a major worry, but he was obviously questionable at one point, but he seems like he's in now. So we're going to put him in. We got his pal Julio. That would make sense. They're going against the same team. How about Jamison Crowder is going to be out, right? I already know that. So this, unfortunately, the this brings in everybody. So I'll put an injury designation like I did with the baseball one that you guys are familiar with, but I'll probably do that maybe tomorrow night or something. For right now, I know he's out, so I'm not worried about it. I like Allen Robinson here. A lot of people might say, why would you want to go Allen Robinson? But, maybe I don't, because I'm going to tell you why. If they got that backup quarterback coming in, I just don't see him, throwing the thing the whole field. Yeah, I maybe not. Although I like him. If Mitch Trubisky was in, he'd be someone I'd look at. But maybe right now I'm gonna say no to that, based on just because of the situation that's going on tomorrow. And they have a backup quarterback going in, and I could go around and with the so-called experts and we can go around and debate everything under the sun. But in reality, what I've found is when backup quarterbacks come in, normally they don't throw the ball the whole length of the field, and also they rely on the run game and tight ends. So if you've got a pass-catching tight end, a guy that's reliable on your team, and you have a backup quarterback coming in, watch the spike normally that tight end gets. And I know they have a good tight end over there in Chicago. They have a very good tight end. So we're going to probably look at him in a minute. But for now, let's see what we're going to do. All right, so let's take a look here. We've got Kevin White, I don't know, Allen Robinson, Michael Thomas. Everybody likes Michael Thomas because he's one of the best wide receivers in the game, isn't he? Sure he is. I like him. And I like what I saw in Drew Brees earlier, as you saw. So yes, I'm sure he's a lot of money, and Julio's a lot of money. But you know what? Okay, let's put him in. Let's at least try to get him in there. Now we're going to need a cheaper. Probably going to need it. Well, let's go over. Let's go back over just a second. Not to be a pain in the ass, but we're going to go over to our quarterback. So we know that Drew Brees is looking good. Colt McCoy doesn't look bad, right? And he's cheap too, $4,700 if you wanted him from Washington, where their quarterback broke his ankle really bad the other day. I felt bad for him. That had to hurt. It's terrible. We'll see. I mean, if you wanted to use Colt McCoy, I could understand why people would do it. Matt Ryan, everybody's saying, I don't know. He's up against a team that's 28th in pass rank and gives up 28 points to quarterbacks. Keep that in mind. Like, Matt Ryan's a bad quarterback, right? No, he's not. And he's had his issues. They all have issues. I could give you a story for every single one of these names if you wanted me to, and tell you why you don't want to use them. But realistically, except for I guess Drew Brees is really doing well lately. But you know what? Let's go to Drew Brees. Put him in there. I'm going to spend up on why would you spend up on a quarterback? You don't have to. I know, guys. Thanks for all the advice. But guess what? That's what I want to do. So there you go. Let's go back. Here's something that's interesting to me, and I spotted this last night. I looked at this sheet. I updated the sheet last night, and I took a look at it. And I noticed that Cole Beasley is looking very attractive for short money. I mean, he doesn't look bad. And what does he cost? Let's take a look at his cost. $4,200. So let me ask you a question. Could Cole Beasley potentially get, roughly 12 points? Yeah, he can. He most certainly can. We got Kenny Golladay for $6,400, and I've heard the argument with him that he's kind of the last man standing in Detroit, and he's by default he's just gonna inherit the targets. He probably is. And Chicago was a very tough defense, but just the same. I mean, it's not like Kenny Golladay was very impressive in the preseason last year and this year, and he's had his moments here. He's very good. He's a very good receiver. To that end, there's a line movement is going against them, but that doesn't really mean anything. It just means they might throw more, which I think they're going to anyway, because if I'm right, one of their running backs is really injured, not going to be around too. So, and it's very tough to run on Chicago anyway. A lot of people don't know that. Chicago's a great defense, but their defense is stronger against the run than it is against the pass. I know that for a fact. So we could look at Cole Beasley or Kenny Golladay. Let's put in Cole Beasley for right now. And if we can fit Kenny Golladay, we'll go back to it. How's that sound? All right, Mr. Beasley, get in there. All right, so my next phase I usually do is I go over to running backs. So let's see what we got here. We got let's clear that out. And we're going to look at running back ones. Okay. We have this set up. Remember earlier I showed you I closed some things. The wide receiver matchup will not be in play. So we're going to hide that column. The team wide receiver targets will not be in play. We're going to hide that column. Now we got the percentage of snaps, etc. But I believe it's in here. Well, give me a moment. We're going to close the wide receiver and tight end portal because we don't need it. All right. So we've got something interesting going on here. This is set up by DVOA, as I said earlier. And some of these guys don't have the best DVOA like Ezekiel Elliott, but he's such a beast that I wonder if it matters. I mean, it's not horrific. These three guys down here, when you see this type of thing right here, they're up against the DVOA ranked #1 Chicago. Now, didn't I just tell you that they were one of the toughest league in the league against the run? If you want to play Theo Riddick because he's going to get targets with Kerryon Johnson being out, I understand why you do that. But if they're trying to use him in an official sense to move him down the field, you're in trouble. He's going to have a long day at the office. And LeGarrette Blount, you know what? He's going to make goal line stands because he's the guy. So remember that. So you use Theo Riddick to get to the goal line, and then LeGarrette Blount's going to come in to get the touchdown. But understand something. Chicago can literally keep him out. They're that damn good. Forget my French. They are very good at stopping the run. So that ain't on accident, okay? With that being said, let's see here's something that's interesting to me right here. You see this guy, Jordan Howard? Why Jordan Howard? Why wouldn't you use Tarek Cohen? Well, I'm not saying not to use Tarek Cohen, but I want to talk about Jordan Howard for a minute. We just said that they're going to put in a new second-string quarterback. They're going to up their run game, okay? They're going to up their run game. They can run on this team. It's not a best scenario. It's not the best thing that ever happened. But I believe that Jordan Howard definitely is going to get his 20 touches. Now, if you don't play him. I don't care. But I do believe he's going to get 20 touches. So guess what I'm doing? I'm putting him in. Jordan Howard, where are you, baby? He's down here. He's cheaper too, $4,100. How do you not like that? All right. So let's see. Now up here, we got Adrian Peterson at 5,100. He's got himself a little bit of a run here, Washington and Dallas. Adrian Peterson's been used a lot. For some reason, I don't know if it's a stunt he pulled with his kid a few years ago or what, but people don't use him so much, and he's actually had a heck of a year for himself. He's doing well. I mean, whether you like him or not. But my guy right here, on this Superdome game, I got to get some exposure to my best buddy, Alvin Kamara. So guess what? Alvin, get in there. All right. Now we've got Drew Brees, Jordan Howard, Alvin Kamara, Calvin Ridley, Michael Thomas, and Cole Beasley. Let's see what we got for the tight end, right? And I'm not saying that we won't go down and maybe use Mark Ingram if we can get to him. I'm not against it. Tevin Coleman, pass catching running back. Right? Maybe. We'll see what happens with him. Adrian Peterson. See, the thing is, though, this matchup isn't great with Adrian Peterson. They're going to use him. You know what I mean? He might just get points. I don't know. He's got to get 15 points to pay off himself. If it was a little cheaper, it would be a different situation. Chris Thompson, kind of the same idea. I don't know. Let's see. Let's take a look at the old percentage carries. Where's Chris Thompson? He gets 26 carries to Adrian Peterson's 155. So that tell you something. He's 62% of the workload. He's 10%. Yeah, let's be mindful of that. Here's the value here. Let's see the value on these guys. What I've done is I've set up I've taken the percentage of workload in their carries, etc., and I've built it into a percentage of workload, a value based off their workload. And that's, I use that Adrian Peterson. There he is. And Jordan Howard. There they are. Well, all right. Tevin Coleman's right behind him with the over-under of 60. His team points are 29, too. I like that. If we can, maybe. Jordan Howard's definitely in. Adrian Peterson, we'll see. All right. Yeah, this over here, in case you were wondering what that is, I've taken their kind of their overall bulk workload and what they do and divided it by their salary to get what you're paying for versus how much work they give. It's not, and then I look at the DVOA and try to get a full picture on that. But Let's go over to our friends in the tight end category and see what we got over here. I think I know who I already want. And there he is, Trey Burton. Now, if you don't want to use him, don't. But look at him. Team points, 24. 5-point line movement in their favor. Best DVOA on the board. Outside line block is not. Well, let's. You know what? That's we were using that for the. Let's close. Let's close this. The tight end matchup. He's literally. Jordan Reed also looks good, but he's a little more money. Trey Burton, like I just told you, they got that backup quarterback coming in. He's gonna do dump off passes. He's gonna use this kid, and he can catch. Trey Burton. He's good. So guess what, Mr. Burton, where are you? Get in there. All right, now let's go get a DST. Why? Because the flex is important, and I want to hold up on that. So let me go back. How do I pick a DST? I just reverse the quarterback line is what I do. So we see here the best guys. Let's go the worst pass rank. And I'm looking for Reds. Reds are what we want. So we've got Chicago and we've got Washington. Dallas's offensive line pass is not that good, but these guys aren't that standing out. It's clearly going to be Chicago Bears. So let's go over to DST. The Bears are 2,900. How do you beat that? Nice. So we got $5,500 for our flex. Let's go back to the flex. Thanks for following along, too, guys. I know some people might find this boring. Some people like making lineups. Nothing else. I show you how I make it. A little into how I do it. So is it a tight end? Well, let's just select all. Kick them back in. Now we've got $5,500. So let's go cut out the people we can't afford. So we're not even wasting our time with them. We've got Trey Burton already. So let's go ahead and let's pull the guys out that we've got. We've got Trey Burton. Tevin Coleman. Oh, look, we might be able to get Tevin Coleman. And I'm probably going to grab him right now. Kerryon Johnson's not playing. Jordan Reed is, like I said, he's a good play. Jordan Howard, we've already got him. Devontae Freeman, Cole Beasley, we've already got Cole in there. Calvin Ridley, we've already got him. Allen Robinson. All right, so let's close this. Let's take a DVOA and let's see who's got the easiest matchups to start with. Allen Robinson. But I just, like I told you, I'm just not feeling it because of that backup. I mean, he's going to get passes and he could get a touchdown. How do I know? I mean, but, stretching the field and running down there and being that guy that's like, 15 yards out and getting hit with the ball. I don't know, guys. I don't think it's going to happen. It could, but I don't think it's going to happen. But it could, even though I don't think it's going to happen. But it could. Okay, so Tarek Cohen. What do you guys think about him? You want to go double in? You want to go double or nothing here? Because he's also kind of being used like a slot receiver, which, I could see that, him getting his passes. I could see that. I could definitely see that as well. I look at short game yards on Chicago. Why would everybody go in on Chicago? Well, first of all, they're not doing that bad on the points. The line movement's moving in their favor. Yeah, he might not have, but his he's not a wide receiver, so who cares? But his running back targets, they target the running backs a lot. It's green. That means the team goes after them. They throw to them. So red guys like here, you don't like Jordan Reed. Well, he's not. But whatever. You see the red means they're not getting as many targets. The team doesn't really use them that way. But Tevin Coleman's right there, too, for $5,200. And I like everything I see on him. And I'll tell you why. Let's take a look at the wide receiver matchup and tight end. Let's. I don't want to probably use a tight end or a wide receiver in the flex, just to be honest with you. Most people don't. And I'm probably like most, and I don't think I'm going to. The outside run block is here, but let me show you why I like him. Yards allowed. They're very, he's not going to, this is a tough team to run on. They're not giving up a lot of yards. They stuff a lot. What does that mean? That means they get nailed behind the line of scrimmage. When you see this and you got a running back, be mindful of that because this team's good at getting to them and shutting them off like a light switch. They get targeted enough. 30% of the rushes, 114 carries, percentage of the workload. His pass line is good. Snaps, targets, 8. His total targets are 33, and he's been targeted in the red zone 7 times, which is good. Percentage of workload. Let's go back over to here and see if we can find a value on that. I don't know if we will or we won't. Right now, it's between. I got, I'm going to go ahead and take LeGarrette Blount and Kevin White out. LeGarrette Blount and Kevin White. Way to go. All right, let's take them out. And let's see what we got. Again, it likes Adrian Peterson and Tevin Coleman. To the Tarek Cohen right by him. Here's what I'm going to do. I want to take a look at Tarek Cohen and the T brothers here. Let's take a look at... Let's clear this out. Tarek Cohen and Tevin Coleman. Let's just isolate them and take a look. All right. So, both teams are set to score. The reverse line movement's going in favor of Chicago, which I'm not surprised. Neither one of them outside line, the offensive line block is fantastic. Tarek Cohen's has given up a lot of yards on this, but let me tell you something. I think those lot of yards are going to go the other way to Jordan Howard. I really do. I think they're going to ground and pound on him as much as they can. And they're going to throw to Tarek Cohen, too. That's why I'm looking at him. But for ground and pound, he's not that guy. So we've got running back targets. He's going to get all the catches. Rushes, carries, 114 carries to 56. But that's because Jordan Howard's here. Tevin Coleman has been playing alone, as you know. His partner there in crime has been injured. I don't know if he's back or not. We could check. Targets 33, 53. See, they throw way more to him. He's a wide receiver. He's almost a wide receiver. The overall value is going to Tevin Coleman. Snaps. Target percentage, targets 53, red zone targets 8, percentage of workload. All right, it's Tarek Cohen, and people are probably going to disagree with me on that, but this is my lineup. You can make yours. Like I said, I've been saying all along. I'm not showing anybody how to make a lineup. I'm showing you what I'm doing based off what I have. Very humbly, you know what I mean? And I mean that. So Tarek Cohen. I got $200 left over. I can live with that. So we got Drew Brees, Jordan Howard, Alvin Kamara, Calvin Ridley, Michael Thomas, Cole Beasley, Trey Burton, Tarek Cohen, and the Bears defense. We've phased out the Detroit team altogether. Let's hope that don't come back to haunt us. I don't know if it will or it won't. I know they've been having a rough go of it. At the same time, what's his name there? Matthew Stafford. Believe it or not, if you check the history on him on Thanksgiving days, he plays pretty well on Thanksgiving. I know that sounds, so what? It's only 3 or 4 years that we've been in DFS and we've been looking at it, or 5 years, but it's there. I don't discount this kid ever. You never know with him. As crazy as his team is, he's tough as nails too. Play with a broken shoulder and stuff. So here's the lineup. I'm going to submit it. Drew Brees, Jordan Howard, Alvin Kamara, Calvin Ridley, Michael Thomas, Cole Beasley, Trey Burton, Tarek Cohen, and the Bears. All right, everybody, that's my lineup, and I'm sticking to it. I want to say thank you to everybody. God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you enjoy this video. And thank you for everything you do with the support, the likes, and everything. And I love hearing from you. Hit me up and talk to me. Just say hello. I'm a friendly guy, and I love to talk, if you can't tell. So God bless everybody. God bless Boston. Thank you all, and have a great night.